Welcome to the Chain Out Podcast with your hosts, Jeremy and Daryl.
Hey everybody, welcome to Season 3, Episode 116. The dynamic duo is back together for your viewing and listening pleasure.
I don't know, Jeremy. I'm all confused. Like 1 minute you want me, you're here, then you just leave for a week. Now you're back again. I'm not meant to think anything of this.
You're not supposed to, because I think what happened last week is we had not a reasonable facsimile, but we had a superior product in this seat when I was gone. We had Sonia on last week, and she did a fantastic job. Our first in-studio guest.
Yeah, in-studio guest, because you were still on the podcast. She wasn't co-hosting.
No, I was.
I don't want to raise her stature that much.
No, not co-hosting, guest, but in studio.
But I know that would have been a perfect, one for us to be able to have a 3-person in studio. It would have tested my technical abilities to see if I could have pulled it off.
Well, I think we already did test it. We figured out how much we had to do to crash a program last week.
Yeah, don't play a video and have 3 remote guests. Yeah, that'll crash the program, all right?
So all those podcasters out there, let us teach you how to push the limits of your podcasting ability.
I just need to upgrade.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it.
That's it.
I like it. Modify. So how was your week? I know you got up to a couple things last weekend, including a Edmonton related event.
Yeah. So on Sunday, we did a community event. Is out at Allard Community area in Edmonton. They had their Winterfest happening. A lot of people out there. They had 2 fire pits going. The hockey rink was still frozen. There was patches where it had kind of melted. A lot of kids out there roasting marshmallows and making s'mores. And they had the community league out there and everything like that. And we were invited to be there as well. And we set up our tables. We set up a mini 9-hole course around the little area there. We had some loaner discs, and we got kids to come out, and not only kids, their parents and everyone like that. Got them out there. They were throwing discs. A lot of people enjoyed it.
Nice.
Yeah, it was
they were having a good time. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Question for you with that, and there's another thing I'm going to do on the fly here too.
Okay.
Is I got to do an audible where I got to maybe send a couple links to our guests tonight.
Okay.
We might want to do that.
Yeah.
But what I was going to ask was, Allard, is that on the north side of the river or the south side of the river?
It's on the south side of the river. It's the southwest corner of the area.
So does that mean we got some south side support for a disc golf course?
Well, you know what? That's why we were there. We were there trying to, get people involved. So the next time anything pops up that, Edmonton Disc Golf Association is looking for permission or wants to partner with the city to get a course put in on the south side, maybe we'll get a few more votes and a few less objections to putting a course in there. The Allard Park wasn't that great for the disc golf course. I mean, it would be maybe okay to put a starter 9 holes in there, that sort of thing, but it's pretty wide open. So it's typical area in in the Edmonton area where you have a big park area in the middle of a community with 4 soccer pitches and 2 hockey rinks that are hardly being used most of the year round.
We can use that space.
Well, we could use that space for a disc golf course, but no, the soccer pitches and the ice rinks and all that take precedent, right? So
yeah, that's fair.
We were told about the neighboring community. There is there's a kind of, I don't want to call it a wasteland, but there is some area there that potentially that we could be kind of in the Black Mud area, if you're familiar with that area.
I know the Black Mud area, yeah.
Yeah, so there is some place there. According to Brock, I can't picture the area in my head, but he looked at it on Google Street View, and he said if we could get a course in there, it would probably be the best course in Edmonton.
Really?
Like, I think it's pretty heavily wooded. It's a bit of elevation change for in the city, if we could get a course in there, but there is a way to go to get to that point.
That's awesome. Well, I got out to Winter League on Saturday.
Okay, yeah.
Weather was beautiful.
Right.
Got a chance to play with our friends of the show, Mark Thompson, Jana was out as well,
Yeah.
and Sam. So it was pretty much like a chain out podcast group
Right.
just hanging out on the same card.
Isn't that pretty much every card at Winter League, though? If you got
It
Sam,
gets
you
there.
got Dylan, you got Uncle Steve.
Yes, and I saw all of those
Josh.
guys there too. Keenan was out there.
Right.
So many people were out having a good time. Jason as well. So yeah, it was a good time. I ended up shooting an even round, which I was pretty proud of because I had a couple holes that maybe you always have a couple holes you want to take back. Didn't make it clean through Wally's way, so you know how that goes.
Well, that's the interesting thing. I looked at your scorecard and I seen you took a 4. So, all right, Jeremy missed the Mandos or whatever. But no, you didn't miss the Mando. You just ended up in a hard position.
Oh, that's the worst. Is sometimes missing the Mando would be the better choice. Right, because at least then you're set up for your next shot in a good spot. But when you're just about missed the Mando,
Yeah.
makes life a little bit harder, that's for sure. And of course, as you knew, last week I was down in Mississippi, and you'd asked, we were talking about, was I going to get out for a chance to play?
Yeah.
I got out. They've got a 20-hole course there that I've played before, but the sun was setting. I got out, got about 10, 12 holes in before I had to call it a night.
Right.
But it was crazy. I had slush, I had water, I had snow, I had ice, and there's a little bit of elevation, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
But I had a number of circle 1 layups that became deep circle 2 putts because it would just land and then slide on this slick piece of ice. It was good. I actually brought my spikes down to Mississippi, which I didn't expect was going to be something I needed. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Cool. That sounds like you had a good, excuse me. It sounds like you had a good time down there.
Well, that's it. I did. And I'm excited too with everything else coming up. League again this weekend and not long till one of the events we're going to talk about today.
There you go. Well, shall I let everybody know what we have in store tonight? We got 2 guests coming up for you this week. We have Andrea Michaud. She'll be here to let us know what the CWE, Canadian Women's Event, has planned for 2026. I have to do my own.
All right. I'm here. I'm here with you.
And after that, EDGA,
Edmonton Disc Golf Association.
President Brock Cicchetti will be on to talk about Tundra Toss 5, some other activities that this club has happening as well. We'll start those interviews in around 15 minutes.
Yeah. And I was taking a look, as you know, I like to do at the top of our shows is I'll stick in a section about tournament reviews because I think, tournament directors are doing such hard work out there planning events in Canada. We should kind of highlight them a bit. I don't think we want to deep dive them per se, but just get a little bit of a highlight. So I looked last weekend and there were 5 tournaments in Canada. So it's still happening.
Yeah, we're picking up.
And I don't know if you'd be surprised to hear this, but 3 were in BC. Probably not that surprising.
Right.
The other 2 were in Quebec. Out of all, it wasn't Ontario, it wasn't Alberta, it was in Quebec, in that East Coast that we talk about.
In that East Coast corridor.
So I figure, why don't we mention a Quebec one and a BC one, and I'll take the Quebec one.
Good.
Because I get to do the pronunciations. You know how I love that.
Absolutely.
So tournament director Dom Gauthier put on La Classique Hivernale de Boucherville 13e édition, or the 3rd edition of the classic Winter Festival of Boucherville, I think. And Daryl, this was a Vegas-style doubles event. Have you heard of Vegas-style before?
Vegas-style? No.
No? Like, I was trying to look that up. So anybody in the chat, tell me what a Vegas-style doubles event is from what you understand. And what they had written out, once I translated it, was that they said that the better person in the pair determines the division that was played. But I also did some, Googling and searching, and I found that some Vegas double events are... You've got 4 people on a card.
Right.
You keep your own individual score. You play 6 holes with each person on your card as your doubles partner.
Oh, okay.
And I thought that would be I've never heard of that version. And I thought that would be a fun way to try it. Because then you play with everybody on your card and your score will be different because you and me might do better together than you and somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought that would be a cool way to do it. But sounded like
so
a good event.
how do you score it?
Everybody has their own scorecard.
But are you playing like best shot doubles?
Yes.
Okay, so best shot doubles.
You and I would be a pair, and then after 6 holes, you'd pair up.
So
with
we would get the same
Sonia,
score
and
on
I'd
6
pair
holes.
up with Sam. Yeah, we'd have the same. Yeah.
Okay, I know what you're saying.
And then you have 6 different and 6 different. So
cool.
It's an interesting way, hey?
Yeah, it's different.
Because we've heard of all of these things, like the college disc golf format, and what else have we heard? Like worst shot doubles, all of those. But this was an interesting way to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like a really interesting format. So another tournament that happened, tournament directors Iggy King and friend of the show, John Goldthorpe, put on the 2026 Masters of Disc Golf in Vancouver, a C-tier tournament. 54 players came out for this one. It was almost all Masters divisions, except they did have MPO, FA1, and MJ15.
Yeah.
In the MPO division, though, get this. They had brothers Quinn and Cole Cochran.
Well, we've talked about them before. They're pretty phenomenal younger players out in that area.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they competed against Andy and Lenny Novak. Now, I'm not too familiar with their names. I'm not sure if they're brothers or not, but it was possibly two brothers versus two brothers.
Wouldn't that have been cool
Right?
if that was the
That'd
case?
been pretty cool.
And I tried to do some research on Andy and Lenny. Maybe it's father-son. I have no idea. All I could find is it looks like they're one of them is a little bit older than Quinn and Cole, because Quinn and Cole are in their teens, and this person looked like they might have been in their 20s or something like that. So
yeah. Well, that one was sponsored by Innova, and they had a pretty cool logo on that one. If you ever get a chance to check that out.
Yeah. That was I always love a good logo, and it's harder now sometimes to tell. Unfortunately, sometimes it's like, was that an AI logo?
Yeah.
Or did somebody actually take the time and put that thing together?
I like a cool logo as well.
Oh yeah, that's a nice one. We need to get more of these hats.
Yeah.
That's another topic. All right. You know what I wanted to say to everybody out there too, we covered a couple tournaments. So this is a reminder to remember, if you've got a Canadian tournament that you'd like to hear on the podcast because you thought it was good, you want a tournament director to get some love, or maybe for us to just talk about a course that we've never talked about, message us. You can send us an email, reach out to us on Instagram, Facebook, drop a comment in one of the YouTube videos, tell us what tournament we should highlight. You got to be timely though. We don't want to talk about one that was like 7 weeks ago. We got to be kind of on the ball with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we could do that for sure.
So that was what was happening up in Canada.
Yeah.
Now, we've been doing it for the last 3 weeks. So this week, we should talk about the tournament down under, the TDU.
Mm-hmm.
It finished last weekend with the fourth and final event, and that was the Bottle Lake Open. Did you have a chance to watch any of the coverage?
I did. I watched just the last couple mornings at the gym, kind of caught the final round. I know I got the MPO or the FPO for this one. I can't remember if I watched the MPO for this one. I think I got snippets of the MPO.
Yeah, I watched all the FPO and the last round of the MPO.
Well, what did you think of that course? Now, I didn't watch any of the coverage last year, but I seen it this year. That looked like a pretty tough course in my mind. Like, compared to like the Orchard might have been tough, but the amount of trees that were on this course.
Yeah, the tight lines that they had to hit, and that keyhole green as well. That one with the tight double mando.
Yes.
Yeah.
And not only that, like even at the end with hole 18, it was you had to do a decent drive, nothing crazy, but you couldn't hit a tree to stay in bounds because you were out of bounds off the tee.
Mm-hmm.
And then no matter where you ended up, there was like a out of bounds river right before the basket and the green. So then you had to make another they added some stuff.
It was
there.
definitely a tough course. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was entertaining to watch, and I think I would have took a pretty high score on that one.
Oh yeah. Definitely looked harder than I would say. It almost reminded me of Cedar Creek, but a tougher Cedar Creek.
Yeah, everything was plinko.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, on top of that too, what I noticed was when I looked at the results, it really was. I'm like, were the MPO and FPO actually playing the same layout?
Mm-hmm.
And according to what I saw with my eyes and what I read on PDGA Live,
Yeah,
they were playing the same Bottle Lake Gold longs.
I think they were. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're talking about the MPO. On the MPO side, Levi Stout took down the win.
Mm-hmm.
He won by 3 strokes over Luke Humphreys. In the second round, both of them shot a -12. And that was the hot round. And that gave them some distance over the rest of the field. With Jacob Blair. That name's not too familiar to me, but he was their closest competitor. Levi was able to maintain his lead throughout the third round, stretching it on hole 7.
Yes.
If you watched it,
Yeah.
it got to a point where, I always wonder, and I know watching the FPO side that Sarah Holcomb said that she wasn't watching the scores.
Right.
I wonder if Levi knew that he had those extra shots to play with, because I don't think he did. I think remember
He just
listening
kept
to
pushing,
it.
you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
From there he just kept pace with Luke, and he just eased his way into the win.
But you're saying he didn't know he did, but that's what
Well,
it looked like.
I remember listening to it because Luke was commentating.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Obviously it's hard for a commentator commentating on the round that they're in and they know the result without giving too much away.
Right.
But yeah, I think he was saying that he didn't know that he had the extra shots that he thought he had because he was still playing. But Levi, he's from New Zealand. He's sponsored by RPM Discs. And he's heading over to the US. He's going to be playing on the Pro Tour this year.
Yeah, and I think he's pretty excited. I was in his speech there. Wasn't he talking about getting a chance to kind of show the US players what he can do and really get a chance to demonstrate his skills?
Yeah. And the good thing is that he will be also teammates now with Raven Klein and Corey Ellis. They're both on Team RPM Disc as well.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And on the FPO side, which we both watched because Canadians' own Sophia Donica was right down there and she was in the thick of it.
Oh, so close.
She was so close. And so if you haven't watched it and you want no spoilers or anything like that, then maybe you put us on mute for a minute. But she started out the final round in second place, but right away on hole 1, she took the lead over Sarah Hokum, and she was looking good, Daryl.
I know.
Like she was playing tight. She was playing nice pars, getting a birdie here and there. We get through the front 9. She's looking good. I think she's going to win this thing. Mm-hmm. And then what happens?
So I watched all 3 rounds. And she wasn't on lead card coverage for the first round.
Okay.
But when they gave the scores after the first round, I could see that she had a great front 9, but then a not so great back 9. So then when it came into the second round and then into the third round, I could see that she had this lead and she was playing well on the front 9. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, I was like, I kind of think that she's got to stick to it for the final back 9.
She could do it. Well, and I think part of what that was the back 9 looked a little forehand friendly at times with those tight gaps. And Sarah Hokum's got that great forehand. It seemed like a lot of turnover shots and such. So not only did you have to thread a gap, then you had to make the disc turn. And with Sarah being a great player like she is, like all the credit to her, she's sinking big putts. She's just coming in clutch when she needed to. Yeah. And then Sophia misses a gap, as well as Taylor on her card, and Allison Tweedy. Yeah, so that's a 15-year-old who was on the card with them, and they were struggling a little bit more, and then that probably gave Sarah some confidence too. But it was good. So Sarah ended up taking the win, but Sophia was there, Allison Tweedy was there, and Little Miss Disc Golf played FPO.
That's crazy. Yeah, and I think she finished like 7th.
Yeah.
6th or 7th, something like that. It's crazy, yeah.
And she's like, what, 10, 11 years old?
I mean, I want to keep saying she's 10, but...
Which maybe she gets older every year.
Exactly, yeah. Maybe she's 11.
Yeah. But sorry, not to leave you in suspense there. Sophia finished in second place, which was still a solid finish. And I'm sure she'll be coming home soon now from New Zealand after another wonderful 5-6 weeks in the sun and not in the rain and the snow.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, well, moving right along, Chain Out is sponsored by 2 amazing sponsors this year. We've got BR Disc Golf and Disc Republic supporting us. We got 2 stores that got you covered for no matter what you need disc golf related throughout Canada. And I'm just going to talk about each of them for a minute here. And I wanted to make sure people knew about BR Disc Golf. For those who don't know, BR Disc Golf owner Brendan McKinstry is not only a store owner. What else does he do, Daryl?
He's in the chat. He designs courses, Jeremy.
He does design courses. And to give you an idea of some of the courses he's designed Stony Creek down in Camrose. He's designed Baptiste Disc Golf Course in Bonnyville, and that one's cool. I've been out to it. It has a mini version of the USDGC Hole 7 Triple Mando on the course.
Right.
And it is tough, and it's not that far out there, but it just makes you really realize how hard USDGC must be because of how far that Triple Mando is, and they're still threading it. Where this one in Bonnyville is a lot closer and it still feels so hard.
What is it with hole 17? I mean, for me, I don't like forced Mandos. Mm-hmm. But when we played at Smith Lake Farm, they had the same triple Mando on. I don't get it.
People like it. It's one of those things. He's also done the 4-wing disc golf course out in Cold Lake. And I believe he was just mentioning to us recently here is he's got a high river course that he's working on that's going to be quite amazing. He's very excited about it. So if you're looking to design a course or want some help doing it, reach out to Brendan through BR Disc Golf and he'll make that happen with you. And then on the Disc Republic side, Jason was doubling down. He was telling us that we talked about it a couple weeks ago that MVP and Innova had some new pre-orders.
Right.
But the Boca apparently is blowing up. And I don't know I know you usually don't have ads on when you watch TV or YouTube or stuff.
Right.
But when I was watching, I do have ads.
Right.
And Simon has some ads for the Boca and for some other items like that.
Yeah.
And the Boca if I could throw it even a quarter or an eighth the way that he could throw it, it looks so good. And what Jason was saying is that it's apparently an easy to throw trail. And I'm like, what? A trail's already easy to throw.
Right.
So at 7601, that bokeh is going to be great. And Disc Republic's got that for you if you want to pre-order. Keep in mind, if you do order from either of our sponsors, use the code CHAINOUT, and that will support us. It's a promo code that helps support your favorite disc golf podcast.
You know what amazes me? I don't know if it amazes me, but it is one of those things. How long has Simon been with MVP now? 3 years?
Yeah, well, pretty much since I started, so 3 years.
Probably 3 years. And his Simon line discs are still like, as soon as a new one comes out, people are like, I've got to get that new disc.
Mm-hmm.
How well his Simon line is still going, even though he's been with, you know, you think maybe people would have lost, you know,
Yeah.
what's the word I'm looking for?
Lost kind of interest maybe in it, but
Such
no,
an
when
easy
he's
word.
got that going. And then on top of that, the other thing I saw a post on social media was that there's a new disc that's been approved by PDGA for MVP. I don't know if it's a Simon line, but it almost looks like they already have the range and the streamline side.
Yeah.
But it looks kind of Bergish as well. It's got that little bump on it.
Oh.
So that's like way out, I think.
I mean, you know, you can always imitate and copy, but you never, a Berg is always a Berg.
the Berg is the Berg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what, Jeremy? It's the day has finally come.
Do.
Yeah. So many of our longtime listeners have been waiting quite a while for this giveaway. That's right. It's our 500 subscriber giveaway. We've teased about it so many times. We didn't want to start too early, but we did. We finally got over the 500. That was 2 weeks ago. We asked everyone to make sure that their names were visible on YouTube so we can get their names, put them into the draw. I've got the wheel all lined up. I've done the draw. They're going to get all of these discs. They're going to win
more.
They're going to win the Discmania bag. All of these discs. There's 2 towels. There's minis. There's stickers. Lots of other cool items. It's all there.
So I'll tell you, if you're listening on audio,
Yeah.
you need to go and check out the video because it's the only way you're going to see all this stack of 6 discs, towels, bag,
Or
and goodies.
or
So
follow
many
us on
goodies in
Instagram
here.
because you'll see the post there as well.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
All right. Are you ready for the...
Yeah, I'm ready to
Ready for
find
the
out.
giveaway?
You take care of these spins, and I'm always excited to see what we get.
All right. Here we go.
Da-da-da-da.
Fingers. Congratulations to Joshua Ellingham.
Yeah, Josh Ellingham.
I don't know. The name sounds familiar, but I don't know Josh Ellingham.
No, Josh is actually someone we do know. He's a guy from Calgary. Him and Jen, they show up to a ton of events. They travel all over. They're actually at nationals. I played with him on my on one of my cards at Newcastle actually. So if you saw him, you know him.
Okay,
Limber
maybe.
Open, all of those.
All
Great
right.
guy. So that's exciting. We've got somebody in Calgary in Canada who
There
who
you go.
won it.
I don't know the name, so if you say you know him, then that's fine.
Yeah. So congratulations, Josh. We'll get in touch with you. We'll make sure you get this whole package here. And Daryl, I'm going to take a quick jump. Are you good to keep carrying on for a
I
minute?
am good.
All right.
Perfect. All right, so yeah, Jeremy will get that sent out right away. Thanks to everyone for getting us here. Like I said, it was kind of crazy that we were at 496 for so long. Every time we would check, it'd be 496, 496, 496, 497, 496, 496, 497. We finally get to 500, and then what do you know? Now we're already at 512. So thanks everyone for subscribing. Here's to, we've already got the giveaway box set up for the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. So if we give away all of this for 500, you don't want to miss the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. Okay, let me get these discs out of the way because they are impeding my mouse. All right, so Jeremy always likes to let everybody know after the episode, be sure to stick around, head over to a Patreon, because we'll have our Around the Basket episode. If you're not already a subscriber or a follower of our Patreon, head over to patreon.com/chainout. You know what? I even have a button for that. sign up for any level, including free. You'll get the link to join us for our Around the Basket. We talk disc golf. It's a little bit more informal of a discussion. Normally, Jeremy and I disagree on things. Sometimes we'll also throw a quiz in there. We're not going to be doing Silhouette Silahoo this week. I'll just let everybody know. But we might throw a distal in there. We haven't done distal for a week or two. So yeah, head over to there, get the link, and you can join us. And that happens after the Chain Out podcast, normally around 8:30. But as I conclude this, we have our first guest. We have both guests as well, but everyone can help themselves to the M&Ms and the peanuts and the bottle of water. We have our first guest ready to bring on, so let's get to it. Jeremy's not here, so I have to look back at a different screen. Okay, our first guest tonight has been a long-time supporter of the podcast. She has so much passion and energy for disc golf, and especially supporting the underserved divisions. She's been leading the charge for the CWE, the Canadian Women's Events, and will be letting us know what they have planned for 2026. Join us in welcoming a very sick Andrea Michaud to the podcast. Hello, Andrea. How are you? I think you're muted, but that's okay. Are you not muted? I think you're muted because I can't hear you. Your volume is all the way up. Let me just check my sound levels here. Your volume is all the way up here. You can hear me. Just give me 1 second, Andrea. I'm going to put you back into the green room. And then I'm just going to, if I can bring on my other guest, just quickly. Well, hang on. Speak again, Andrea. No, still can't hear you. Sorry, I'm just going to return you to the green room. And I'm just going to bring my other guest on just to make sure that it's not a me thing. Oh, no, that would be the wrong button. Hello.
Oh, you spoiling the surprise?
I'm spoiling everybody knows that you're coming on anyway. Okay, so I can hear you. Thank you. I'm going to put you back in the green room.
Sounds good.
Okay, thanks. Okay, Andrea, if you can hear me, it's we heard our other guest.
I unplugged my speaker. I don't know if that helps.
Oh, I can hear you now. So let me just bring you back in again. There you go. Welcome to the podcast. How are you doing?
I have a cold, but I'm still excited to be here. And now I have to figure out where to sit again.
You know what? We go the other way.
The other way?
There you go. Perfect. It's funny because we doing the research, Jeremy always goes back and watch other episodes that we've had guests on and things like that. And I wanted to just to clarify exactly what your position in the CWE was, whether you were a founder, chair, member, director, what your exact title was. And he said, go back and watch episode 23 was the episode that we had. And I went back and watched it. And right at the very beginning, I was like, can you just move to your left a little bit? So we were having the same issue then we're having now. So it's all good. How are you doing?
Other than having the cold of the century, this is day 6, and I'm not impressed with whatever this head cold is. I'm still working away on CWE stuff. It's just I'd like to do it without a cold.
Yeah, it sucks, hey? Just doesn't want to get away?
No, it seems to be like a whole head cold thing, and it's not pleasant. Me and the box of Kleenex are the best friends right now.
Have you tried all the remedies? Have you got your go-to remedy that's not working this time?
Yeah, even the go-to remedy, I try and do like some sinus, like breaking up things. Nope, it's not working.
Is it getting any better, or is it just the same as it was when it first started?
It got worse, and now it seems to be on the upswing. Now I think it's getting a little bit better, but I think last week I was sleeping maybe only 3 or 4 hours. I ran myself a little bit ragged.
Right.
And then I got a cold. So now I've been sleeping a lot, and things are turning around and getting better, but it's too busy a time of the year to have a cold. So it has to move on and go away.
Right. Exactly. It's not going to last forever. It will be out of here at some point. So Jeremy, found out that Ontario has had a bit of snow this year. Has the weather settled down a bit? I'm assuming that's probably where some of the cold is coming from. But have you managed to get out and get back to some disc golf courses?
I haven't. I'm pretty spoiled at having a couple of indoor putting leagues. There's one in Western New York that I go to that's actually a 9-hole course inside. So it's in the basement of a church, and we do 2 laps like a regular 18. And then I'm also running a mixed gender, all ages putting club on Mondays. Right. So I've kind of been indoor golfing because we have had, I find every 4 or 5 years we get an actual winter, like a what you would have in Alberta winter.
Right.
And we forget for the other 4 years how spoiled we were. We had a very mild winter last year, but there is still a good 1.5 feet of snow outside, and it's not going away anytime soon. I'm feeling more like a real Canadian this year, and I don't like it.
Yeah, now you get to see how the other half live, hey? Well,
next year I'm hoping it'll be back to a mild winter, but for this one, no, I don't recommend Southern Ontario visitation at this time. Yeah. I'm going to escape to the Dominican in a couple of weeks and take my discs with me.
Yes.
So it's short-lived.
Have you done your research? Is there a course nearby?
Actually, there are no courses currently in Dominican Republic, but I have heard that Paul Macbeth is putting in a couple of courses. So I'm going to kind of poke around and see if I can at least like get the location and maybe rent a car and head out there and scope out some of the locations and just see what he's thinking. And I think that'd be really interesting because it's, especially with the Cuba travel woes, I think more people are going to Dominican. It would be great to have some courses there.
Right. Yeah.
But I actually take a dragon with me. And as ridiculous as it looks, I drive the dragon out into the waves and then I swim out and get it. And then I bring it back. So I just take my floatable discs, and it's great conversation because I actually met a Toronto disc golfer last year in Dominican who plays in Toronto, who I didn't actually know. And, you know, because I had a disc and I was literally playing by myself, I looked probably like the most pathetic disc golfer ever. But you know, it still gives an opportunity to drive out there. And then I actually feel like I'm working off some buffet food because I swim out and get the disc.
Right.
Then bring it back. But yeah, it's a good excuse to bring some floaters.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Wait a minute. I'm just joining back and I'm hearing that we're swimming to get discs. What are we doing?
Well, I think you should have had Andrea give you some advice because, you know, you've mentioned before about the time where you were throwing the glitch on the sand
at the beach,
and you figured that you would just do this big nice spike hyzer, and it didn't. It got in the waves and was washed away. Andrea takes a dragon, which is a floatable Innova disc, and she throws it out into the ocean, and swims out and gets it, retrieves it, comes back again, and then doing that, she actually met somebody from Toronto down in Dominican because she's heading to Dominican in a couple of weeks. So.
Well, I'll tell you this, you got to always make sure, Andrea, as you put your name and your number on those discs, I'm still waiting for a call from Fiji or wherever my disc ended up after it went into the ocean.
I've got a few in some aqueducts in Arizona, and I'm hoping that they come back at some point too, but I don't think I'm going to see them. But there's Discraft or Discmania, I think, makes a mermaid, and then I've got an Innova dragon, and I just take them and drive them into the ocean, work off the buffet food, go out and get them, come back, have a few sips of a cocktail, and rinse and repeat.
Right.
That sounds like my type of vacation, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, one thing that we have really enjoyed in the past year, we know that you've supported the podcast pretty much from the beginning. Notoriously, we know that you went back and memorized the whole Carrie Neal episode. But one of the great things for us this year was actually getting out to meet a lot of people that we have come to know from the podcast, and we met through Facebook and messages and things like that. But we, as you know, people know that we got the chance to get out to nationals this year, where we got to finally meet up with you out at Oakcote.
And we finally got that hug in person as opposed to the air virtual hug or the text hug.
And I felt more like I was hugging like your waist because, as I mentioned to you, like I'm a lot shorter than the camera shows. So it was more like me kind of doing one of these hugs because you guys are much taller than the camera makes you look.
Yeah, maybe that's because we're sitting. We had that same experience with Miles Ladder as well. We've talked about that a number of times, is because he makes us feel like if we were hugging him, we'd be hugging his waist. He's so tall. So...
Philo's another great one. Like, he is so tall. Every time I go to a clinic or see him, like, I can't believe that he's just and Gannon, they're all gigantically tall, and I just naturally stare at them because they're so big, and I'm not.
There you go. Yeah, well, that was definitely for us. It was that highlight, right? Was getting to meet you and all of our disc golf friends that we've been developing over these last 3 years and getting a chance to meet him in person. So that was fantastic. But what we want to do, because we only really got 30 minutes tonight before we get because we got the 2 guests planned for tonight, and we got a lot to cover. So why don't we start with the CWE? So can you tell the listeners, because a lot of our listeners know all about CWE, but there might be a few who aren't familiar. So can you tell us a little bit about CWE, and then what do you guys got planned for this year?
So the CWE stands for the Canadian Women's Event, and Mindy Mayal put together a great team of really powerful TDs sort of 4 years ago in the beginning in hopes of creating a Canadian-wide women's event. And none of us at the time really had any idea how we were going to pull it off or do it. And we just started at the beginning, and we just did it. And we keep on doing it. And there are days and weeks that I have no idea how we're getting it done and how we're managing. But the event is growing exponentially. Like as of right now, we have an event in every single province, possibly 2 in Newfoundland. They may get mad at me saying that, but there may be a Gander and a St. John's location. Wow. For the first time ever, there is one being held in Toronto at Jeff and Kara's Chain Link course. I literally had to message them and ask if I could leak that today, because I've known for 3 weeks and I'm awful with a secret. I was like, can I tell somebody? Can I tell someone? Can I tell the Chain Out podcast, which is like telling the world? Dr. Glow is going to be involved, and it's going to be an amazing special CWE. Now moving into the 4th year, we're seeing people that are taking the women's events and really making them their own. Like to see an unsanctioned Glow event on a weekday, I don't think that's something any of us ever thought would be possible. And for the very first time ever, not only do we have Mara Pat Payton from Whitehorse, who has joined our committee recently, but she's also hosting the very first sanctioned women's event as a CWE in the Yukon Territory.
That's awesome.
So we were just shocked that now it is, the entire map almost where there are disc golf courses and people is just lit up with, people wanting to spread the word about women's disc golf, get women involved. I'm definitely not a numbers person, but I know that internationally, the membership for women sits in and around 7%, and it's hovered around that number the whole time I've been involved in the sport. But looking at the PDGA Canada report and documents, just for women's memberships, which I know doesn't encompass all of the casual players, all of the, people that are just going out and playing without UDisc or without PDGA memberships, Canada's sitting at over 12%. So
that's great.
I know we're doing good things. I know it's making a huge difference. And there's more women that I see and meet playing that, once upon a time, just a few years ago at Nationals, there was only 14 women. And a lot of us that were with you at Nationals were looking at that and seeing, divisions of FA 60 with 16 people, FA 40 had 14 people. Right. These are like, we used to hope to get a card together. Right. It's like, can we get a card of 3 together to matter? Right. And now it's multiple cards, like cards of 3 and 4 at national and provincial events. Mm-hmm. And we're just blown away. We want to believe that it's, CWE is having an impact, and it's definitely helping to reach some of those players. And we're getting more and more people that are contacting us and saying, like, what are these events? How can I run one? I'm really happy that we have a lot of male TDs on board this year. So there's a lot of great men that support women's disc golf and women's disc sports. And they're kind of saying, hey, I'd like to have one of these events for women in my area. And I know when I had first started disc golf, there was a man named Dustin Fournier, who's, still an absolute idol of mine, that he ran a lot of women's events out of the Bronte Club. And, seeing guys other than my husband who gets voluntold into all of the events that I'm running, playing in, like he's there as a photographer, caddy, mule, whatever he's there as. It's just amazing to see other guys that are like, hey, we love women's disc sports. We want to see more women playing. I want my wife, my girlfriend, my aunt to be happy, healthy, outside, trying my hobby. And to see them coming out to caddy for women, to host these events, just is amazing. Like we couldn't ask for anything more. It's just with the growth came the need to expand our committee this year. So we added 9 new people, which for a long time we have been a committee of 4.
Right.
So
That's
all
awesome.
of the CWE was 4 people, just mostly based from Ontario. And we have Jessica Benoit, who's our one Western Canada, Manitoba helper out there. But now we have a couple ladies in BC that have joined. We have Mara in Yukon. We have Kira that is in St. John, Newfoundland. We also have Josh Sachs, which, he does a lot of, I believe he's an accountant. And, he has his own podcast, and he's volunteered to kind of help us out with our books and our accounting. And, just even seeing a guy who wants to step up and say like, hey, I don't need to be in every committee meeting, but I can help you out with your bank stuff. And we'd really like to move. We operate as a not-for-profit, but don't have that official designation yet. Right. We need to collect a couple of years of voting data, finances. And I think Josh is going to be really instrumental in helping move us into that, kind of non-profit area that we could apply for that and have that status as well.
That's awesome.
So just kind of getting all of the support coming is not, I don't know if any of us ever envisioned it continuing. Like we thought we'll do this one year and, maybe have a go at it the next year. And all of a sudden it's year 4. And much like Chainout, when I was looking at the lineup for tonight, I'm fairly certain that the Tundra Toss was one of the first 10 Chainout podcasts that I listened to.
Right.
Like, I think it's in the top 10. So I'm, I'm looking at that and going like, wow, I remember hearing about the recap from Tundra Toss when I first found you and started watching it. Right. And now here we are 3 years and 3 seasons later, and it's Tundra Toss again. And I feel like I've been to this event, except I never have. But it's like, I know all the people, I know the scores, I know how it works. And it's just, I don't know if the people who run Tundra Toss care that there's someone in Ontario who feels like they've been there. But
I think so.
Like being able to share that, as big as we are as a country, I really don't think about it until I'm either shipping something or contemplating driving to an event. Like, again, I had that wonder of, hey, can I drive out to Grand Prairie? Like, is that possible, or am I just being dumb? Like, I probably need a flight. I really don't have a huge concept of how big the country is and how far away people are.
Yeah.
For me to go out to Edmonton, it's the same distance on a plane as it is to go to Dominican Republic. And that just, it blows my non-geographical minded mind. I don't know how to say it anything other than that.
Yeah, one of them has a little bit of a better climate, but we won't say which one. I just want to jump into the comments just after a second here. Kristen was referring to your 12% stat. She says, that's awesome. Canada's leading the way. You got Tanya Ramsey here also in the chat. Special shout out to Andrea and all her efforts making everything possible. You kind of touched on one of the questions that I had for you, which was about how the committee was looking, and obviously it sounds like it's growing. And you mentioned there you're getting Josh, getting guys involved as well, and it's just a big community all coming together to support women's disc golf and moving it forward, which is awesome. When we look at the CWE and we look at all those events that you're putting on, one thing that we always notice is that they always have cool looking discs. Now, I know that you're working together with the guy that we've had on the podcast, Judge Havoc. He does some of the artwork for you. Do you have anything planned for this year?
This year, we were really surprised that Gateway, which is an American company, they're kind of small scale. When I first met their team, they described themselves as a craft brewery, which I immediately thought of Chainout. I don't know why, but craft brewery just made that link for me right away. They're definitely not a company that you're going to see flagship and be able to sponsor a major US event, but they had offered us a couple of things that were just beyond amazing. In the past, any companies that we've had our logo put on, we've had to purchase the stock that the companies have. And then, we pick from what they have and they put the logo and they ship it to us. This year was something different because Gateway kind of asked us, like, what do women in Canada need or what do they want? And we're definitely not used to being asked a question like that. So, we said, how light can you make discs? And when they came back with numbers like 115 or 119 or 120 grams, we didn't even know that was possible. like we don't often see discs that light, but we just kind of said, yes, please. And instead of using the stock that's at Gateway, through our contact Tiger, she is just pouring whatever we want. She's like, we have 37 plastics. You can pick the lightest ones. We have 42 PDGA approved molds. You tell us what the women want, pick a few, and we will custom pour whatever you want in whatever weight you want. And when it came down to the stamp, for some reason, they said the Wonder Bread stamp is a little bit more money. And I said, well, we don't need to pick that one. And she left me a note yesterday that said she's going to pick the girliest girl power stamp combinations and colors possible.
Awesome.
And, you know, like we couldn't be more overjoyed to hear something like that the discs that Gateway is providing this year are all between 120 and 160 grams. Okay. Most of them in the, 120 to 145 range. And when you can get a 12-speed driver, like an Aura is a 12-speed driver and it can come in 120 gram weights.
Yeah.
I can't imagine how that's going to change the game for some women.
Oh, it'll make a big difference. I know even, for us in the older age division and that max weight discs aren't the thing. And, for anybody whose arm isn't the size, as you said, in the length of Gannon's or Paul's or anybody else's, those lightweight discs make like everything else that CWE is doing by putting on events that are geared towards women and making everything as open and inclusive as they can be. That's bringing more people to the sport. And then also having discs that you can throw and see that flight that we all desire to see with that nice S curve. Mm-hmm. That'll be great to see. Yeah. Well, Andrea, you also had said
they also surprised us by having that stamp designed by Judge Havoc. So we didn't actually know or ask them to do that. As a collaboration project, Gateway just thought it would be nice to have a stamp that kind of united their sorcery theme, that they're most known for their wizard putter. Mm-hmm. So a lot of their putters have like a Gandalf kind of wizard feel to them. And Jason Bastion, who is Judge Havoc, was able to take that and make us a sorceress and then include the Skywritten CWE logo. And there's some little details in it, like she has a Gateway earring, but the disc that the sorceress is throwing has our logo on it. So he did an amazing job at just bringing the two companies kind of together. And for 4 years, we've used the exact same logo. So to have something really special created by a Canadian artist, which I don't even know fully if Tiger realized that Jason and I live in the same city.
Right.
Because I didn't want to be that Canadian where it's like, oh yeah, I know Jason, he lives down the street from me. But he actually does. Like it is that, he literally lives in St. Catharines, a couple of blocks, from where I am. Yeah. He used to live a little further away, but he's literally 2 streets from me. So right. We're being that Canadian where it's like, oh yeah, Jason, who lives, behind me and around the corner.
Right.
That's cool. That was an amazing gift to have that stamp produced and to have him do it as well, because I definitely love his art, and he designed our club logo and, my new disc golf tattoo. I don't know if I can.
Yeah, let's get that up there. There we go.
I don't know if I can turn my arm the right way, but I put our club logo on my forearm because I loved it that much.
That's awesome. That's got to be kind of one of those things where, as an artist, when someone's willing to permanently put your art on their arm, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Well, Andrea, you had mentioned there with Chain Link Disc Golf. So we got Jeff and Kara. We got to meet them. They're doing so much as well for disc golf. It just seems like a natural for you to work together with CWE and then to have an event in the Yukon. Every year we see it grow a bit more there. And I got to shout out our hometown crowd here too, with She's Up First, which if I remember right, last year had the most Canadian women in a tournament ever last year, or was right up there. And I'll tell you this, from all of the work that everyone is doing out here so far this year and all the promotion, I think it's going to be just as big, if not bigger. And I don't want to say anything out loud, Daryl. This is for off the air maybe, because I don't want to steal anybody's thunder.
Sure. But
I heard a couple names that are coming. It's already a big deal. It's going to continue to be a big deal. So,
okay.
So I'll leave that out there. So that's fantastic.
I know a few friends that are flying in for it. So there are definitely women who have booked flights and are heading in for that. I mean, in a perfect world, I would love to get there, but She's Up First is also one of the first CWE events. And last year, Alberta as a province had 4 separate events. which in itself is amazing because the growth out there is just wonderful to see. We had 2 new TDs last year. One of them had to cancel the event due to some unforeseen circumstances, but Jen Brown, who's Joshua won your 500th prize, she hosted a CWE out at, I think it's called Three Sisters. And that was her first tournament ever that she'd hosted. And when I met her a few years ago, because her family still actually lives in Niagara Falls, she comes out to a lot of our events and also to my CWE when she's visiting her parents. And she wanted to run an event so badly. And last year, my mom was actually pretty sick. She was in the hospital during my event. So Jen was unofficially, which officially became my co-TD and ended up, helping run the event just so that if I needed to leave, go deal or be with my mom, it was in capable hands. And that's if in a perfect world, if I could get out to She's Out First, I totally would do it because I see the photos and I see the hype and the interest and the people that are going. But I know I have my own event in 2 weeks, and it's probably very irresponsible.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Well, we just had some people in the chat asking, you were mentioning the stamp. They wanted to see if you had posted it, and I said you hadn't shown it yet, but I do have it on the website here. So I'm just going to quickly pop up the stamp that you have there. And you said there's the sorceress. She's got the. Oh, sorry, Brock. I don't know how. I don't know how
There's
you're
a sneak preview of one of our other guests.
Get rid of him for a second. Yeah, we have your stamp there. We have the sorceress. She has the disc in her hand that she's holding there, sign writing the Canadian Women's Event logo in the sky there. It looks awesome. So Judge, as always, has knocked it out of the park there with that stamp.
Yeah. Well, and we do, as you saw there, that's probably a good segue. The time always goes pretty quick, but we do have Brock in there too. But one of the other ones that I wanted to bring up here before we kind of wrap things up with you, Andrea, was CWE has a waffle going on right now. And I think we should bring some attention because we're running out of time. But there is, I saw it when it first came up. And I think there was like 15 prize items and it was, let's support CWE. And it was like, oh yeah, I'll get to that. That was on my mind. And then you reached out to me and then I go back and I look and I go back and look. And how many items are you up to now? It's certainly way more than 15. And I've got my tickets. I'm ready to rock. And I think everybody else should get theirs too.
So Jeff Malton lets us literally take over his buy, sell, and trade Canadian Disc Golf page. Typically the waffles are like 48 hours. But he gave us a full 2 weeks to put up this fundraiser and to really push it. And we encourage people to either add a disc or purchase tickets or do both if funds allow. And we are up to, I believe, 51 prizes. And I still have 6 to add from Jen. And also Jeff Malton has added some amazing ones that he's hung on to for a few years as well. So those prizes are in addition to the 15 that we started with. And some people have purchased tickets, some have added discs, some have done both. But right now, I think the odds are 1 in 11 of winning. So we have quite a few prizes. We're really, really hoping to hit at least the 1,000 ticket mark by the weekend. Because as I'm sure you know, Canada Post shipping charges, they go up like crazy. And this year, all of the items that we're getting for the players packs to the United States are all going to my US address where I can broker and import them to Canada. And any of the Canadian items, we're having some items made by, I think it's VC Ultimate in BC. They're all coming to my Canadian address. And then I will be packaging up all 20 to 25 of the events, players packs, and shipping them out from Niagara. So our shipping costs are pretty, it's definitely a big bill. It's over $1,000 to ship everything out to get them to the TDs. But especially with the WGE no longer providing players packs, any new TDs, we're trying to make it as simple as possible. The PDGA training software is up online and free to anyone and everyone who has a membership that wants to complete it. We have a TD chat where, all the TDs of the events can sort of source out and help each other and ask questions. And then there's some sort of one-on-one TD training for people new to disc golf scene or putting up events that I do with them. And most of all, getting all of the stuff that I'm going to have in my house that will probably take over my house for a little while. Getting it out to all of the events across Canada is going to be an expensive and arduous task. So that's initially what the funds are being raised for, so that we can provide the TDs players packs for the lowest cost possible, and they don't even have to worry about arranging the shipping. Anything that is left after that, we divide out equally among the events. So I believe last year we were able to add about $160 to each one of the 19 events that we hosted. And that is whether they're sanctioned or not. So the PDGA Canada is also a huge supporter. Brian Honegger donates $5,000 to from PDGA Canada's money to the CWE events, but that money is only for sanctioned events.
Okay.
So the Toronto event that's going to be a glow one, that's not going to be sanctioned. So the CWE does this separate fundraiser to make sure that even if they're not a sanctioned event, they're getting something, whether it's for washrooms or snacks or players pack items, rental fees, insurance, whatever it is that they need. We still try and make sure that they get something to make running the event as simple as possible. We hope that a box will just show up with everything that the TD will need. Throw Pink donated some amazingly beautiful breast cancer awareness totes for us this year. So the players packs will all be able to go inside of the bag, and then those will be able to go out to players and keep them as well. As soon as our waffle wraps up, we're going to release the players pack for this year, which has 8 phenomenal items in it. Wow. So it's definitely a good surprise for this year. We put a lot of work this winter into looking for some Canadian and US companies that are women forward, women owned, women central, to be able to include some earrings, hair ties, kind of cute things, but also some practice items, just some things that I think all around there's going to be something in there for everyone that they're really going to love and cherish.
That sounds so good.
Yeah. Sounds fantastic. You're doing amazing work, Andrea, and that's reflected in the chat. We've got so many great comments in the comments here. You mentioned about the fact that you were, you kind of feel like you're at Tundra Toss. You feel like you've played at the event because you heard about it on the chain out, and you wonder whether, that cross Canada situation. Definitely people in Canada say that they are checking the scorecards to see how you're doing out east as well. I say east, out in central
Canada.
Central Canada. A lot of support for She's Up First. Kristen Swirls saying second only to nationals last year for field size. So that's amazing. People are loving the stamp. And Dina saying VC makes awesome jerseys and neckies as well. It sounds like you've got phenomenal players pack, phenomenal TD. The TDs for the events are being looked after. Just seems like it's all going in the right direction.
Yeah, and as we wrap it up there, Andrea, what we'd like to do is we know how to get in touch with CW. We know how to find the waffle and all of that. But can you let everybody know all the ways they can learn more and find more information?
The easiest way is if you follow the Canadian Women's event online. So we have our own socials on Instagram and on Facebook. We also have the CWE with a period committee at gmail.com that you can reach out to us at any point in time. The committee members are also posted on our social media, so you can feel free to reach out to committee members. And then Sean Galbraith, who I believe also you got to meet and has been on the show. He created a nice little link that goes right to Jeff Moulton's buy, sell, trade site that has the raffle there. So you can just click on that and head over. Also, the ODSA and CanDisc have also been so kind to share our information, get it out there, as well as PDGA Canada. So I feel like in the last few days, if we can kind of bring it home and sell those extra couple hundred tickets that we need, there's a lot of places that you can find the information. And if nothing else, cold or not, sick or not, I did see if I could try and get one of the other executives to come on tonight. I said, hey, Chain Out has a spot. Is there anyone who wants to volunteer? And I got crickets. So that's why all the ladies are cheering that I'm here anyway, because I also have like my box of tissues side by side. But my socials, I try and make sure that it's up there and showing everyone how they can get involved. And at this point, we're just hoping to get enough ticket sales to be able to ship out everything to the TDs, and anything left over, then we can divide out equally to the events. So they've got a little bit of extra to help with some of the costs that go into running the event. And I know that last year, I believe Brenda Page who usually plays FA60 in Ontario, I believed that she made 6 different CWE events.
Wow.
And I know Jen
okay.
Brown was right up there. I think she made 5 different events.
Okay.
So I feel like I'm lacking. I only went to 3 of them last year, so I'm going to try to hit up a few more if I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
But
I don't
they're
ever
definitely
worry that you're
exciting.
lacking. You're always doing so much, because if you're not playing them, you're organizing them, or you're traveling down and helping with a PDGA event. You are doing way more. So never feel bad about what you're doing.
And people know that if they need someone to talk about Canadian women's disc golf, you're the only person to take that mantra. So that's why you heard crickets, because they know that Canadian women's events are in good hands when it comes to you.
Yeah. So Andrea, that's so awesome.
I think it's
hope
a tall order,
Oh,
but
go ahead.
oh, Tanya, she's so funny. So that maybe that's why she didn't want to be on, because she's fighting a cold too. I think that everyone who's working with the CWE committee, it doesn't matter if they are a day of volunteer, spotter. There's a fellow named Lee Slater that is out in Saskatchewan, and he seriously shares every post, comments on every post, is always cheering on his local club in Saskatchewan. Huge help to Katie Hozemp out there. Just seeing the men that are getting behind the sport and encouraging women to go out and try it or to be involved in any way, shape, or form. I've always had a very supportive group of guys locally to my course, but I'm noticing that other places and other events are picking up that same momentum as well, that there's a lot of guys getting involved. And, it's just nice, because we can't do it all ourselves. If all of the women in my club are out playing, then I need people who can do spotting, who can do photos, who can, sort of help out with calls and things as needed. And, we can't do it alone. It takes a community and it takes a village. And I feel like watching the posts go up and the support, people are sharing discs and items and purchasing tickets literally from coast to coast. And we couldn't ask for anything more, because Canada is huge. Every time I get in my car and think I can drive to Edmonton, and then realize that a day from now I'll barely be out of Ontario, I should probably just fly.
Well, you know what? We're excited because if you can swing it, you'll be at Nationals in Grand Prairie with us, and we'll be working to get up there too. And it'll be another reunion, and we can celebrate all of the wonderful things that you've done. Maybe over a beverage or two, maybe a craft. It sounds like a craft beer is in order.
Yeah. It's funny how Train Out Podcast, craft beer, they go well together.
Yeah.
It's the first thing I thought of when Gateway was describing the way that their shop and their market kind of is. And I'm hoping that I do plan to get out to Nationals. Jen Brown actually booked accommodations for us at Nationals this year. So it was pretty great that she was already pulling out the Airbnb and getting that ready. And this time I get to bring my hug out to Alberta.
There you go.
And we'll be
That's
looking
how it works.
forward to it.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
Andrea, we should let you go. We know it's getting late, and you get some sleep for that cold, and we'll get Brock and Tundra Toss on to do a 3-year pretty much reunion show, almost is what it feels like now.
I can't wait.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for the plug for the waffle and all that you do to help out women's disc golf. I did actually get a package from you in the mail a couple of hours ago, and I'm dying to open it. But it's exciting because I wanted to open it up on the show, and then I was like, I'll wait until after.
Sounds good.
It's awesome. Thank you very much for your time, Andrea. Take care.
Have
and
a
get
great
better.
night, guys.
See ya.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Daryl, so much energy from Andrea always. And
Always.
we know, like, we could do probably, we do a whole show easy, if not 2, because there's so much that she always has going on that she can share with us and her passion for disc golf in Canada in all forms.
Absolutely.
So we do have another guest though waiting for us. We got a sneak preview of him. That was kind of fun there when you showed up the logo for CWE, which looks good.
It's a finely tuned machine, and when I have to run everything, things happen.
You did well. You did well. So our next guest is a familiar face to many of our local listeners. Not only is he the president of the Edmonton Disc Golf Association, he's also an Innova ambassador, and that's right up Daryl's alley, that's for sure. He'll be joining us tonight to talk Tundra Toss and to update us on other happenings in the Edmonton area this year. Let's welcome back Brock Cicchetti to the podcast.
Hey guys,
Hey, Brock, how you doing?
is this the first time you've had a guest on 3 times in the same episode?
That's very true. I think you might be the first.
There you go. Well, because Andrea kind of brought it up and how long ago we were talking about Tundra Toss and she had saw the episode. That was with Tim on it, of course, on that one. But it made me think about one of the first times you were on there. And if anybody hasn't seen it, they got to go back and see it, because at that time in your life, things were a little different. I think if I remember right, you were kind of in a witness protection situation or something like that, if you recall. So if you know, go back and check out Brock's first episode and you'll enjoy that.
Well, Brendan has a good comment in the chat here. He said, good thing Brock was closed. Take note, future guests. Just be ready, because you never know when you're going to be appearing.
Yep, the green room can sometimes just show up on another screen.
Exactly.
So no, that's good that way. It's good to have you back on the podcast. Are you doing okay? You keeping pretty busy these days, or what's been going on at the start of the year here?
Yeah, I mean, getting ready for Tundra Toss. The weather has blessed us for the past 2 or 3 weeks here, so the course is in pretty good shape. Most of that December snow has melted off by now, so it's not too hard to find discs if you're not a ribboner.
Okay.
The problem we're having right now apparently is on some of the pads. It's melting, but then there's not enough room for the water to go anywhere, so it just freezes at the end of the night.
Kind of fighting a losing battle with the clearing the tee pad, snow melting, refreeze, clear the tee pad, water melt. And, you know, I know Graham had kind of mentioned about, well, maybe we could clear back the snow from the tee pad a little bit, but I think maybe given that the ground is still frozen, it's just going to trickle back onto the tee pads anyway. But
and that it is as nice as the weather's been, Daryl. It's February in Alberta.
Exactly. You got to remember that.
This isn't even fall spring. This is just a weird anomaly that we've got going on. Yeah. But you had put out a really good video there, Brock. So anybody who's got Tundra Toss on their mind, is you gave us an update. You pretty much got a picture of every tee pad, the ones that we could see concrete on, the ones we could see concrete and ice on, the ones that still nobody even knows where it is right now at this point in time. So that was a great little video and catch up for us.
Yeah, so I'm hoping version 2 is coming out on Friday or Saturday, and we've got a crew going out Friday afternoon to hopefully free some tee pads from their icy prisons. Yes. And then I will, to Kristen's points, I will shut out Amber and Joe in Calgary, who are talking about how Calgary has no snow and there's no reason for them to come up. So yeah, if the tee pads are clear, what reason do they have?
Yeah, they've got nothing holding them back. Yeah, now we did jump into Tundra Toss right away, but Daryl, that's okay. I let us get past an important part of the conversation.
Yeah, for sure. So before we jump into all things EDGA, you kind of gave me a sneak peek when I saw you on Sunday, but you did post a nice picture of all the team champion discs that you recently have in your possession. How are they going? Have you thrown any of them yet? Do you have a favorite?
I have not thrown a single one of them. I would have thrown them for Winter League on Saturday, but we got invited to the Allard Community League Winterfest on Saturday, so we went down there, and that was actually a really, really fun event. Got to set up a small 7-hole course in the school field there and show a bunch of people how to play disc golf, because they weren't skating in the arena and they weren't tobogganing down any hills because of the weather. So it was really great. And the people down there were really interested in us hopefully getting something set up permanently down there for them. So they gave me a bunch of contacts, and some people took our cards and stuff as well. So
yeah. Now we mentioned it in the top of show that we mentioned the Allard event, and that we had a contact from one of the neighboring communities, and that I mentioned that you had a chance to have a look at it on Google Maps. And you said that if we get a chance to put a course in there, it's probably likely going to be one of the best courses in Edmonton. You want to elaborate a little bit on what you've seen? Is it a nice tight wooded course?
So it's a Black Mud. It's a Black Mud Creek area, so it goes right through, like right down through the south, kind of past, like under the Henday, continuing on to the southwest of the city. There's there was a lot of stuff down there before, so like it's not heavily treed from what I can tell, and there are like walking paths and everything in there. But some of that stuff, like there was a golf course and there was an RV park. Some of that started to get eaten up by just housing developments, but there's still a lot of space down there, and being able to involve the creek in the design of the course potentially
Right.
would definitely be something that we don't really have in the area. Like we've got a couple ponds and lakes and stuff in the way, but not like a creek running through the entire course, which, like, speaking to nationals, you get to Newcastle or whatever, and it's just some of the most beautiful holes I've seen.
Yeah.
So.
Or that crazy difficult Cedar Creek hole 10 or 11, whatever it was, where the creek just snakes through the entire course.
Yeah, where you have to kind of pick your landing zones, left or right, where you want to go for it, go left. Yeah,
taking
absolutely.
a 10 is not impossible on that one. But no, that would be really cool to hear, to see something like that develop. And Daryl's eyes get wide anytime someone says a disc golf course on the south side of Edmonton.
If you mention south side and disc golf in the same sentence, then my ears prick up.
Yeah. Well, when we were talking, maybe we're kind of going a little bit around, and that's okay. We'll bring it back to Tundra Toss a bit. One of the things that we look at is, a lot of people in Alberta will say the disc golf season kind of can ramp up with She's Up First if you're part of the women's events and stuff. But they'll also say, with the big A tier of spring runoff, that's a lot of people kind of get that as that really big tournament. But if you're in the Edmonton and surrounding area, we all know it. It's February, right? Like you get started in February. It's a one-day tournament where you get 2 good rounds in, and anything can happen because this is a rain, snow, sunshine, doesn't matter type event. But it also, with the club makes it double as a bit of a welcome day as well. Is that going to be the plan this year, and how's that going to differ maybe from last year?
Yeah, so exactly like you said, so we'll have a crew set up at the trail house the entire day. Wildman will be there all day as well if anybody wants to get their hands on some plastic or put in an order. He'll have local pickup for free there. What's going to be different? We've been in the trail house for 6 months now rather than just renting it for a day. Yeah. So we have got tables and we'll have some chairs set up. We've got a coat rack to get comfortable there. We've got some speakers and a receiver set up. I'm hoping that I can hook up my laptop to the TV and play what we should be assuming is the gold medal Olympic hockey game starting at 6 a.m. that morning.
All right. Okay.
I thought you were going to say you were going to have.
Will be in.
I thought you were going to say you have chain out on just a loop, but no, just the gold medal hockey.
Later in the day if you want. That's fine.
Sure.
But yeah, we've got a water cooler in there.
Mm-hmm.
Mark went and bought a Costco thing of hot chocolate. We've got a Keurig and a bunch of leftover pods and stuff. So a few more creature comforts.
Yeah, I was going to say that. That's what I was kind of thinking that too, Brock. Is it probably going to feel a lot more like home because it is like a new home for the club, somewhere where we can all gather and feel like this is we've always felt like Rundle's our place, and now the trail house is also part of our place, even though before it was on borrowed time. Now it's EDGA's and it's cool. So I really like that. And also too, that this year when we get all of this happening is for the 5th anniversary of Tundra Toss as well. So kind of a big milestone for the event.
Yeah. And unfortunately, looking at the forecast, it looks like it's going to be the Tundra-iest toss in a long time. So, but like in my video, we're trying to hedge that bet a little bit by giving everyone a toque and a hand warmer for their player pack, and probably have some left over for those pros if they want to buy one or two. So
Oh, that'll be good, definitely. And but we've seen it all. Anyone, I've played it the last 3 years. Maybe this is my 4th year. It's in that range. But in any event, we've had good weather. We've had weather where it was beautiful in the morning, and then the most snow we'd seen all year long all came down at once.
That was a crazy
in the
day.
afternoon.
Yeah.
Daryl and I think we did. That was the year that we were doing a little bit of interviews, and we were helping pack up afterwards, and everybody was packing up, and you couldn't get out of there fast enough. So we've seen it all.
Yeah.
So if this is somewhere in between, I think we can handle it.
yeah, it's weird. Like, it might actually be one of the most normal days we've had in winter. Like, it seems like it's all like, especially Winter League. I think it's been -15 or colder or above 0. Like, it's never been -7
Right.
for Winter League.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, that's what you get. Like, what do they say? If you don't like the weather, wait a while.
Wait 5 minutes.
Yeah.
In Alberta, if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes,
That's
and
it.
it'll change on you. Now, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that, along with Tundra Toss, the kickoff to the disc golf season, the kickoff to the Edmonton kind of season as far as we're concerned. When I say we, I mean the board, the EDGA board.
Okay.
We're going to be holding the Edmonton Welcome Day as well. We're going to coincide that with the Tundra Toss. You want to tell people that maybe who aren't participating in the Tundra Toss event what they can expect if they want to come down to the Trail House as well?
yeah, so we've got our 2026 bag tags in hand.
Ooh.
They look good.
Looking great.
Yeah.
This year we went with 3D printed tags. So they've got a little bit of a raised logo and number and stuff. So I'm going to have to come up with a way to make sure people aren't going in that bag and feeling the numbers to see to get the lowest one and everything. So we might just have to do like a card game on a table or something, and you can't see the number. But
Yeah.
those are looking good. So yeah, come buy your membership. We've got our club branded discs, a whole bunch of Innova ones as well. Leftovers from the Niskapsquak tournament last year. Yeah, come meet board members, hang out, watch some good winter golf.
Watch the gold medal hockey game, apparently.
Or listen to it at least.
Or listen to it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that'll probably be over before the tournament starts. So
There you go.
Oh, yes, okay. Yeah,
Well,
Yeah.
and with it too, Brock, is that I don't know, we've got a ton of disc golfers in every community across Canada that they play recreationally, they play casually, they'll head out and do a round, maybe on UDisc, maybe not, but they don't always join their club. Let everybody know kind of what the cost is to join the club and what it does, how it actually supports and what they get out of it. Because some people may not even know the special perk of being a club member in Edmonton.
yeah, so our club membership is $25.
Sorry,
gone.
keep talking.
No problem. So after we set aside money to cover the GST there, most of that money, and like we've got obviously the lease on the trail house and club insurance, website costs, those sorts of things. Most of that money is going into the rainy day fund, I guess, for our course builds. So, for example, with the Nor'Wester project that we're hoping to finish off this year, we had $15,000 of EDGA money from memberships, from tournaments, from disc sales, all of that. And that's really important to be able to apply for grants, because they always want you to be able to show that you have the matching funds or a certain portion of the funds based on whatever budget you have and all of that. So that's a big thing to be able to demonstrate. And then even though we have all that money, we get the grants and we don't have to spend it all. So it's kind of that you got to meet that minimum threshold, and then the money starts rolling in and you're good.
Yeah, it's one of those things like the bank. Show us why you don't need the money, and then we'll give you the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course too, and I don't know that we touch on it there, but one of the things I always talk about is I love Niska-Pasquak, how great it is. You put on the Alberta Hospital Tournament up there, and that's the way you get to play that course. You cannot play that course if you're not a member.
Yeah.
So you get to be a member, you sign your waiver, and then you get access. It's almost like in a video game or something, you've unlocked another level. You get your $25 membership. You've just unlocked Niska-Pasquak.
And it's worth it. It's a great course.
Yeah, it is. It's got some of the oldest trees that I know of in Edmonton area, and or at least where there's a course around them, and get some interesting shots and see how that's going.
We just have
discounts as well.
So,
Sea Change Brewing, you get money off there. Boston Pizza Beverly and Broadway, you get some food, percentage off regular price food. The restaurant at Rundle Golf Course, Track and Trail,
Fountain Tire.
Fountain Tire, 50% off oil changes. So that usually pays for your membership in one shot there.
Yeah.
To the chat, I just happen to have two.
Yeah, I was just going to say we have a
right beside me here.
There you go. Yeah, we have a question from the chat. I'm not sure if you can read that, but for the people in the audio.
Yeah, let's.
Hi, Brock, long-time listener, first-time caller. Can you tell me where your Sexton Firebird resides in your bag at this time? All the best, and that's from. It says Timothy
Plamondon.
Timplemondon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think we might know that name.
Yeah, and somebody who might just know a little bit about any Innova disc that starts with the word fire, I think is really what it is, or ends with the word bird, firebird, firefly, that type of thing there. You had mentioned there, Brock, about Nor'Wester and that. Can you tell us a little bit about what the plans are this year? Because for those who don't know, we got a course in the West End in the middle of an industrial area and a nice park. Some people like the course. Some people struggle with it a little bit on this podcast, but maybe things will change with some of the stuff that's happening this year.
Yeah. So the course is definitely needs some love. We, unfortunately, in 2022 or 2023, there was some vandalism of the baskets. It's never had proper tee pads, so the grass is just worn into some lovely divots where the tee pads are and everything. So we've kind of been working on this for over a year now to get the money together and approval from the city to put in tee pads and replace the damaged baskets and put in course signs so people know where to go, possibly plant some trees to help make some of the holes on the back half of the course a little more interesting, and just bring it up to the same standard that we have at Hermitage and Rundle. So
yeah,
I'm excited to get it out of the way because it's been longer than I wanted it to be.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned about putting in the tee pads. Are they from the discussions that we've had, and maybe we can share for people, are they going to be in exactly the same position they are, or are they going to be moved a little bit?
As far as I know, 15 out of the 18 will be exactly where they are.
Okay.
A few of them, again, you're not going to be able to notice, like we have to move them a foot one direction or the other kind of thing, or we have to shorten them by a foot kind of thing just to keep setbacks from trees. Some will be a little interesting, like hole 10 there. Because when we pour the tee pad, the mowers have to be able to go over it. But you also have to be 10 feet from the curb, and you're also in the middle of a hill.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So it may be more of a standing pad, but the hole's also like 100 feet. So you shouldn't need to run up anyways.
That is the thing that happens with the city, right? They have their regulations and guidelines, and it's hard to get everything to coordinate in the same. You end up with one small section where you're able to put a tee pad.
Does it remind you kind of a saying that we all say as parents to our kids, right? you get what you get and you don't get
Get
upset.
upset.
Is that kind of how it works with the city?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, honestly, they've been really, really great, and it's I'm glad we did this first before looking at doing a full course, because now I know so much more about the process and so much more about the grants and all of that
awesome.
we can skip a lot of rework
Yeah.
Gotcha.
potentially.
So you had mentioned there about maybe the potential of adding some trees. Now, I know one question that Jeremy had, and maybe some other people are thinking the same thing. One of the defining features of Nor'Wester is that it kind of circles a group of trees in the middle of the park. Is there, I mean, now that we have the course already set out, was there any plans, or was there any direction that maybe you thought about taking some holes and maybe moving them into the trees? Was that ever an option, or would it be in the future to be able to kind of venture into those trees?
It's always an option. Just how much money do you have?
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
City of Edmonton is very protective of their tree canopy, and actually the reason that we are probably allowed to plant trees is they have a goal of increasing their like city tree canopy to like 2 million trees or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So they're looking for anything to increase tree canopy. They're definitely not looking at things to reduce tree canopy. So
Right.
Anytime you're removing living trees, you have to pay.
Okay.
And that is a dense little piece of forest.
Yes.
So we didn't even look at it for like 5 minutes. It was like, okay, well, I'm not paying whatever that fee is times
Yeah.
200 or whatever to carve a fairway out. So that's kind of why we took the opposite approach, and hopefully planting some trees in the big empty field that doesn't really make interesting holes. And then might have to make like hole 6 might become a par 4 if there's a bunch of trees in the way as well.
Okay.
So we'll have to see how it plays after we put some trees there. So
Well, hopefully it's all good karma, that if we plant some trees, maybe down the line when we want to get this Southside course, maybe the city will realize,
Yeah.
oh, you know what? They
We play nice.
Yeah, we play nice. We've built the tree canopy a little bit further down the line. Maybe we get that leeway.
Yeah. And for anyone who's had those trees at Nor'Wester, either of the two kind of groves of trees eat up a disc of yours, what you do know is that they're dense. So even if we had said, how about
just
we do
push it back.
let's do a 2-to-1 ratio where we'll plant 2 trees so we can take out 1, there'd be nowhere else to play on there because they're so
Yeah.
densely together in that area.
Or even just moving a basket just slightly into the trees. You're still taking out 20 or 30 trees just to move it in a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that'll be good. I know a lot of people, and even too in the times I've been out to Nor'Wester recently, as you said, it's kind of gotten grooved down a bit. There's some roots in some of the spots. So putting some tee pads is going to make that feel like a brand new course, and it's probably going to improve some scores for people. Maybe not me, but when they're going to get a clean run up and get a look at the baskets, I think that makes a big difference.
You mentioned about the roots there. From my understanding, that was one of the things as well. Given where the tee pads have to be, is because we're not even allowed to remove tree roots. Like we're not even talking about taking down the trees. We just have to stay away from roots altogether.
Yeah.
So that really another thing that impacts where the tee pads can be.
I'm really starting to like, sorry to interrupt here. I'm just looking in the chat. I'm really starting to like this Tim Plamondon guy here. He's got some good comments.
Me not so much.
Do you share those comments when you see them, or do you pick and choose which ones you share?
Yeah, I'm in charge of the screen over here, but I will bring this one up. That he says that I figured Daryl would be strictly against adding trees ever since the incident we don't talk about anymore.
I really think
I'm just starting to get over this trauma.
This is starting to become a bit of an insider baseball episode for people. So
Yeah.
we talked about you and witness protection. What we can say is probably just after September 2024, if you start floating around there
Yeah.
in maybe some Falcons Flight recap episodes, maybe that's where you got to kind of put yourself to find out more about Tim's comment. I know you're shuddering, but it'll be
Yeah.
okay.
PTSD is coming back to me.
No, that's great that we've got that happening in Nor'Wester there. Brock, what other items do we've got coming up on the EDGA 2026 calendar that you want to shout out while we've got some time here?
Yeah, so once Tundra Toss is done, we switch into league mode. Let me pull up a calendar, make sure I say the right day here. I think we are looking at the week of April 13th to start all of our weekly leagues. So still Monday doubles at Hermitage and Niska Pasquak. Tuesday we'll have our roaming league again, which goes all over the place, even to other cities a few times. Wednesdays we'll have our women's league. Right now we're not going to be running back the PDGA drop-in league, but if anyone's really passionate about that and wants to take a stab at running their own league for 9 weeks, reach out to me, president@edga.ca. We'll help you out. I think the guys in Fort Saskatchewan might be moving their league from Monday nights to Wednesday nights in this case. And then Thursday Rundle League, back the classic. Can't change that.
The staple.
Been told not to change that.
Yeah. No, that's awesome to have the leagues. And one of the things I think people should know as well is that the leagues are quite long. Like it's a really good bang for your buck. When you start in April and you go out to September, there's
like 26 weeks, I think.
So many weeks that you've got there. So even if somebody's not quite sure in the early days, again, is like, come out for a night, try a night, check it out and see which league fits you, right? Like do a one, you can keep trying them on to see which one is the one that works the best. I can tell you from my experience, I played the roaming rec league. I had a lot of fun there because you get to play different courses all the time. I've had a chance to do the Rundle league. If you want to get a chance to maybe make some money and really kind of hone your skills and play some holes that you wouldn't get to play any other time in Rundle, like the top of the world shot, because of every week there's usually 2 new tee pads that you get to go from there. And and then playing the fall league at Niska. Every league I've enjoyed that I've been part of. So there's a lot to offer, and usually prizes or money or something. Sometimes you just have to show up. You show up and your name's in for a draw, and that's a good way to be part of a league as well. So it's,
I think when I went over everything we did in 2025, the only time there isn't like a full playing league is the start of March to the middle of April.
Okay.
And you've still got putting league in there.
There you go.
So if you include that, there might be like 2 weeks that there isn't a weekly league.
Wow. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Good job, team.
Just goes to show you what the EDGA team is putting on.
You guys do a great job.
Yeah. Well, that pretty much covers EDGA and the leagues and things like that. But what else is happening in Edmonton?
Well, yeah, I was thinking what's happening in Edmonton, but one of the ones I wanted to put out there for you, Brock, is that we talked about with Andrea earlier, and she's talking about coming out to nationals. And what people might not know as well, and we can always keep reiterating it, is that nationals is in Grand Prairie, which is a 4.5-hour drive from Edmonton. You can fly into Grand Prairie, but you could probably also fly into Edmonton and rent a car and drive up. And is there anything specific that you know of that's going on either just before nationals or just after? So if somebody wanted to come make an out west trip, anything that's happening around that time, have you looked?
Nothing is coming to mind unless something's recently popped up on disc golf scene. I know. So normally we would have our fundraiser tournament basically that same weekend.
Okay.
At the hospital course. I was already planning to move that to August. August seems to be kind of a lower event month anyways. So yeah, that's middle of August is kind of where we're hoping.
Okay.
I mean, I know like River City's at the start of the month. So, I mean, if you want to take up residence for the month of Edmonton, you got River City Cup at the start of, I guess the end of June. You've got Edmonton Open 2 weeks after that. You can boot it down to Calgary for a weekend for Limber the weekend before Nationals. And then go back up to Grand Prairie. I can't remember the name of the place, but if you are driving, there's a really good donut place like halfway there or something.
Do you
Last
know?
time we got there, last year we got there too late and they didn't have the full selection, but
This is on the way up to Grand Prairie, you're thinking?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I haven't
Again,
done
it's
the
some
drive in a
random-
while, so
Mm.
yeah, it's some
Fox
random
Creek
gas
maybe, or-
station
yeah.
where they have a local bakery in there as well. So,
nice. Oh, that's good. Yeah, you're right. That would be a way to do it, is just spend your summer in the Alberta
Yeah,
wonderfulness.
Exactly.
As long as it's not a big mosquito year, you'll love it.
Hmm.
No, that's good. And as Daryl
Yeah.
was saying there too, is that we've kind of covered some of the other events that are happening. We touched on that. She's Up First will be coming in May. That's going to be a great event. It always is. It's going to be big. I've been kind of teasing that. I know of a couple other people who are coming out for it, and I haven't even shared it with Daryl yet. That's going to be exciting when we get that released. I just don't want to spoil anybody's thunder. The winter programming is still going on right now. The USDGC doubles tournament's always a big favorite as well. It gets people a opportunity to go down to not only play in the tournament in the US, but also get a chance to be on the same weekend that USDGC happens, so they can be part of it and stay and spectate as well. So that's pretty cool. And I was trying to think, there was and as we've talked about a number of times, Provincials is going to be coming in the fall to Edmonton as well. There's going to be more details on that as it gets developed, but it's been exciting having those meetings and starting the planning on that as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
On the doubles thing, they're actually changing the format this year. So previous years, it's just been MA1 and FA1. Now they're adding MA2, FA2, MA40, and FA40
What?
teams. So
Statler and
So
Waldorf
now, yeah.
back in action? What do you
So I
think?
know that'll be
Well-
like, again, there's a few times that people have been a little weary of competing because they know they're not going to compete with the MA1 or the FA1s.
Right.
So
That is great news, because honestly, for me, I would have gone just to have a good time because I know that's what it would be. But knowing that it's MA40 and, you got likes of like Steve Newman, what about him, right? When you put Daryl and Jeremy together, it's unstoppable.
Well, I mean, I guess I could play,
Mm-hmm.
but I kind of did just volunteer my name to go, at least only my name,
Yeah.
to go down on the tournament director for the USDGC doubles.
yeah, I guess it would look a little
Yeah.
sketch if you were the tournament director and you won. Is that a
I don't know.
sketchy
I mean,
thing?
Can you actually play?
Daryl,
if you're can you
yeah,
play
I've
if you're a
played every
tournament
year.
director? Oh, okay.
Yeah. it's only PDGA sanctioned, I think B tier and up. You
Okay.
can't. You have to have like a fully stationary courts official or something. So normally
Right.
that's just the TDs not playing.
Okay.
But yeah, you can play.
I
this.
was trying to look for a way out of this, but Brock didn't kind of give me the way out.
You're stuck with
No,
me,
you're
buddy.
not getting out of it.
No, that's fantastic. Good. Well, I think I've got you've hit most of the question I have, but Daryl, I've been doing a lot of chatting. What do you got?
No, yeah, I was going to bring up the provincials, and obviously, that's a little bit ways towards the end of the year. And like you said, we've been involved in the meetings, and Brock's been in the meetings, and we're excited for it. We don't have too many details to share right now, but things are in the motion. People are doing their things that they're supposed to be doing, and when we get the details, a place that you can find out all the details will be right here on the Chain Out podcast. And I'm sure we'll have you back on sometime later on in the year to talk more about that and any other events that we have. I'm sure, like I said to you but before we started, that when we did have that guy Tim on the podcast, he was already halfway through his presidential, in his last year of his term.
Right.
Now that we've had you on, I'm sure you're trying to go for the record of being the most EDGA presidential appearances on the show.
All right. Well, we'll keep
Well,
that up.
maybe you guys at Nationals just set up a desk and like at the end of the round, every person who's ever been a guest just sits down. How was your round? How'd you shoot?
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. So
I like it. We talked about doing something like that, and we learned a lot from last year's Nationals about some of the things that have to be in place in order to make it happen. Maybe we'll talk to Sam and Dylan and make sure they've got some Starlink for us or something that'll help us out.
Yeah, that too, obviously, yeah. And also just making sure that we're on the same course as some of the people that we would want to speak to. I mean, it's hard when we have so many courses and we're all on different courses. So, you know, our guest list might be a little bit slim on certain. But I mean, hey, everybody's welcome to come on the podcast.
Oh yeah,
if
we
you
meet
wanna
so
come on.
many new people.
Yeah,
Yeah, just when you're picking your Airbnb, make sure it says parties allowed, and just invite everybody back, right?
yeah. See, we've had this because I think it might have been on a couple of weeks ago around the basket where we talked about nationals and getting the party Airbnb.
Well, we'll talk more about that on that.
Exactly.
Save it for around the basket. That's why you want to stay tuned. You get some of the insider scoop if you listen to those episodes.
Yeah,
But,
I think we've covered everything. We know what's happening with EDGA this year. We know a lot of the events that are coming up. We know the first one to kick it off is Tundra Toss with Welcome Day. And you want to give us the date again for that one again, Brock?
February 22nd.
And there is still space if anybody wants to jump in on that one.
Yep.
So perfect. And when you're there, are you going to bring some of those Innovadiscs so we can take a look at them? I've got my eye on those Foxes. They look pretty good. We saw some comments in the chat, and they're just the numbers that I like at a 5.6 minus 2.1. So bring some of those. Maybe you can promote some Innovadiscs, just on the side as we're at it.
For sure.
Cool. Well, that's awesome. Thanks for joining us, Brock. And if you're at Winter League, I'll see you there on Saturday.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Sounds good. Thank you very much, Brock. We will see you again soon.
Yes.
Thanks.
Well, Daryl, 2 great guests tonight. First of all, thank you for doing double duty there for a moment. That was appreciate that. That was great. But 2 great guests tonight, and it's really got me excited for the 2026 season. I know I'm always excited, but just get a little bit more fire with, we know these events are happening, but when you start saying them out loud and they're just around the corner and we've got more sunlight, we saw someone early on in the chat that said they played Hermitage after work today and we're still in the light by the time their round was done. Like we're getting to we're on the winning side, and I'm excited for that this year. So
that person that said that, I think that might be Josh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not quite familiar with his name, but I think that's Josh.
Yeah. And with so much for anyone who's in the Edmonton area to do, there's going to be all these courses, the new tee pads, all of that. You got Andrea tirelessly working to support disc golf, whether it's women's disc golf. She helps with junior disc golf. She creates events that are unique as well. She doesn't just go for the standard, this is a C tier,
right,
get your score. She'll come up with fun events that you can participate in. And she's got so much support around her, which is great. What have you started to think about it? Is there anything that you're looking forward to most, whether it's in the Edmonton area or just that's happening in Canada this year?
Oh, I mean, all of it. Yeah. I mean, I'm excited for Tundra Day and Welcome Day, Tundra Toss and Welcome Day.
I hear Chad Stantz is going to be at those events.
Exactly. Just because, that'll be like the kickoff to the season, right? Then we're back into it again. It seems like we're in a bit of a lull during the off season. There's still disc golf to watch, still things always happening, but like once we start getting back into getting out there again, that's always an exciting time. She's Up First will be an amazing event. Let's see, get the great numbers that we had last year, get so many women involved. Sonia's mentioning Smith Lake Farm. That'll be a great event to get out there and see that again. Nationals, obviously, we went went to Nationals last year. Getting to play in Grand Prairie in our home province, that'll be an amazing event.
Provincials
is going to be great to run. USD, all the events that I might be tournament directing this year.
Well, before you put too many of those
co-tournament directing,
before you put too many of those carts before the horse, let's start with the one that's right in front of us, which you so aptly mentioned as Tundra Welcome Toss Day, right? So I was taking a look, and MA50 has
you employ me, you employ me for the technical aspects.
Well, I noticed that MA50 has 3 people in the division right now, 2 of them being Josh Kern, our buddy, and then Jason as well, who I've had a chance to play with, who's a great guy too. That's 3. A card is 4. What do you think? Are you going to get in there this year? Maybe fill out that card?
Well, funny you mentioned that, because then you mentioned earlier about the MA40 for USDGC doubles or whatever,
Yeah.
or going to any of these events. You don't forget that I'm in the MA50 division now.
But-
So we may not be on the same course.
All right.
If we go to nationals and I play MA50, MA50 may not play the same course as MA40. So we may not be together. But
But it does.
no, I'm, in the chat, Kristen said to me, am I going to caddy for her at Tundra Toss?
Oh,
So I've been locked in. I'm caddying for Kristen.
okay. You know what? That is a good time for sure.
That's what I'd like to hone my caddy skills.
You
If
really
I've got-
have good caddy skills. I
Thank you.
do admit that.
Thank you.
You tell me all the things I done wrong and how I could have done them better.
You should have listened to me. No. All right. Well, that, before everybody disappears, we're not coming to quite the end of the episode yet. There's one thing that we need to do.
Oh, is that where we put our fingers and we say that thing?
No,
Oh, not that yet.
we're
not
not.
yet.
We're not there yet.
Okay. What do we got to do?
We need to put in the secret word. Let's get everybody. Hello, Fraser. Fraser's joining us. Let's get a secret word. We'd love to let you. We'd love to find out and let know. Oh my goodness, words are hard tonight. We'd love to.
Have you help us?
We'd
pick a
love
secret
you to
word.
let us know that you listened to this far into the podcast. So if you're listening to this afterwards on YouTube, please put a secret word in the comments, which will be.
Yes, you give us an idea for the secret word. We got lots of ideas. We got CWE. We could do something with that.
Yeah.
We had Judge
I
Havoc
think
is
we-
always good.
Yeah, but I think
Gateway.
I think CWE is pretty, that's pretty on the ball for the episode. I always think a
Okay.
secret word should be something like, it could be Tundra Day.
Okay.
It could be Tundra Day.
Yeah,
It could be.
Tundra Welcome Day Toss. You
See,
could
Brenda
kinda do that.
McKinstry. Oh, Kristen says incident.
Oh, yeah.
It could be Tundra Day incident.
So you want something a little bit
Could be Dominican.
deeper, a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
Yeah, not just total surface.
Exactly.
All right, we'll come up with some ideas and I'll tell you.
If you put any of those in a sentence, put them in a sentence, because we like it when people don't know. We like it when people put them in a sentence, because if you just mention the word, then other people know what's going on. They're like, why is this word being mentioned? But if you kind of sneak it into a sentence, it always makes it we know. It's one of those things that if you know, you know.
Yeah, and I'm
There you
liking this idea, and it looks like
No.
we're already getting some great comments in there. Take Tundra Toss and Welcome Day, mix and match them in any formula you want. The funnier, the better. Throw that in our YouTube comments. That'll be great. And Doc, you could throw a goat in there if you want to.
We go, welcome to the Tundra Day welcome toss the welcome, the
Welcome
cost to chop
the
trees.
Tundra Dome.
I was thinking more of the Guns N' Roses.
Yeah,
Welcome to the Tundra.
There you go.
The cost to chop trees, incident, goat, judge. We got them all. Put them all in a sentence. If somebody could use them all in a sentence, I'd be very impressed.
And that it actually makes sense.
Yes.
That it's not just a whole collection of the words.
Exactly.
But you know what? While you're at YouTube and you're putting that comment in there, make sure you hit the subscribe button to help us out that way. All of those things help. Like, do it all. Head over to Instagram, head over to Facebook, put on some comments there. Follow us in every way you can. It just helps the podcast grow. And when it grows, it gets us more abilities to give away products and do things like that for you as well. It helps us, and we love it when you like our content. After this, before that, if you've done all of that, you can head over to Patreon. Where Patreon...
Not too easy, is it?
No. Sometimes I jumble my words too. I think you got me going. But yeah, head over to Patreon. You can support us there as well. We got many levels, including free. If you join at any paid level, you get some extra perks like free entry into all of our contests, which actually works out to a double entry if you enter the regular way and then get your Patreon entry. And you can join us for Around the Basket, where we will have we'll have a link over there right now that you can join us. We talk more disc golf. Tonight we've got a few different things we wanted to talk about, including the tournament Down Under had just finished. Could we do a small tour with a lot of heart like they do in Canada? And how would that work? Another thing is, what do you do with your discs once you start getting so many and you got used ones and it's like trying to give away one of your children or something? Like, what do you guys
Yeah.
do? We need to talk about that.
That's one of the things. We can talk about this later, but just to, we've seen two guests on tonight, and we always see that people put these big, we had it with Chris the other night, walls of discs. People buy a lot of discs all the time, but like, surely you're not throwing them all. You're gonna get rid of them. But what do people do with them?
Yeah.
They just put them on shelves. They could put them behind them and they could put them on a very nice touch disc golf display.
Oh, yes,
like we have behind us here. And if you want to use the code Rebecca, you get 10% off. Just putting that out there. Thanks to Touch Disc Golf for decorating our studio.
And it's a great reminder, too, is that Touch has given us one of those to give away. So we're going to have to get that into our giveaway plan as well.
I've got those sorted out.
All right. You got it figured out. Good. Okay, well, we'll see you in a bit. But before that...
Yeah, this is the part where everybody tunes out now. So we may as well just say goodbye.
No. We got to get our mad rhyming skills on.
All right, here we go. Everybody ready?
And we don't practice. This is first time.
Yeah.
I don't know what that insider baseball was. That's not what happens here.
All right.
Okay, so
a year of disc golf excitement. We can hardly wait
to play events this season and see our ratings elevate.
Andrea builds spaces for the women's game to grow.
Play or volunteer, you'll have fun, this we know.
Tundra Toss 5 starts our local season just right.
Battle in the ice and snow, man, it'll be a fight.
T-pad, signs, events, our sport continues to rise.
Support your favorite podcast and maybe win a prize.
Every week we work to make you smile, of that there's no doubt.
But really, what's left to say? Just raise your fingers and...
chain out. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you on Patreon.